Hello and welcome to episode 51. Oh, I should look at these things. 51 of the Cat Lady podcast. My name is Andrea. I'm also known as the Cat Lady. That's 2 T's, C-A-T-T. Craft all the things. This episode, I already came up with my title of Everything But the Crafts. I haven't done a lot of crafting, it seems, but I've done a lot of stuff, and a lot of stuff that I want to talk about, and things that will probably be coming up in the podcast kind of thing, so here we go. And I'm recording with my Canon Rebel again, which I've tried from the start and had some issues, so we're kind of going to give it another go, because I don't like recording with my phone particularly, just because I like the quality of the digital SLR camera better. So anyways, hi. You can find me on Ravelry, Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube as the Cat Lady, pretty much across the board, and I have a blog that I'm going to start working on, so that's another thing that's gonna kind of come up soon, is I'm trying to come up with like a daily theme for every day, so I can post something on the blog, get that rolling. But the blog is thecatlady.blogspot.com, so thank you if you're new for checking me out. Feel free to peruse some of the past episodes, to see some of the actual more crafty things I've done. Again, today I don't have a lot, so. And if you are returning, of course, I thank you all so much for coming to spend some time with me today. This week we're going to do a good amount of podcast news. We got some giveaway stuff to go over, some new giveaways, new knit-along or craft-alongs coming up, and lots of that kind of thing. A little bit of knitting, that's all I did this week, is just a tiny bit of knitting. I have some stash, which is always fun. A new segment that I'm going to call Health and Wellness, because that's kind of part of this whole change thing. Like, I'm trying to change the way I eat and trying to get more healthy, so we'll insert a little health and wellness segment of what I'm up to. And a week in review. So let's jump right into podcast news. Okay, well, on podcast news, I was going to say I'm using my camera, my DSLR camera. It cuts off at 29 minutes and 59 seconds. So I might have to stop and start at one point just to avoid that if I'm going over 30 minutes, or sometimes it used to overheat a little, so in between segments I might actually stop it. And I'm getting a remote soon, so I think I'd be able to just, so it's on order from Amazon. I don't know how it works with video though, so I'll find out. No introductions this week. If you want to come say hi to me, go to the Ravelry group. There is an introductions thread, and say hi, and I will say hello to you on the podcast. Podiversary drawing. I did pre-drew. Oh, okay, well here's a good spot for me to pause because I forgot to grab the prizes, so it'd be nice to see the prizes. Can I show pictures? Maybe I'll just show pictures of the prizes. Show pictures of the prizes as I draw them, but I pre-drew them because there was 7 of them, and I didn't want to spend all this time going through random.org and blah 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 and looking up a thing on my phone. So they are all pre-drawn as of this morning. The thread has been locked, of course, and so here we go. So first up is a DPN holder from Mandy Pinecone and a set of stitch markers from the Tangled Skeins CA, who is Sue from 2 Tangled Skeins. So here's a picture of that. And the winner was post number 50, who is Yarn Taxi Driver. And prize number 2 is the Creative Cats coloring book with a set of pencils, colored pencils. I don't think the pencils are in the picture. But the coloring book, and I got a set of just some colored pencils to go with it. And that was post number 7, who is Pusscat52. And number 3 was the Hello Kitty drawstring bag that I made. It's kind of a Hello Kitty shamrock here, and with a hand-carved leather tag, either keychain, or I actually have mine, I don't have the bag with me, attached to one of my project bags, but that was donated by, I made the bag, and the leather tag was hand carved by Jen, who's the Uncreative Crafter. And winner was number 34, which is Knit Pick 56. And the next up is a skein of Fiber Attic Designs yarn. It was the Intense Iris. That was post number 15, and in the East. The Star Wars box, which was a little Star Wars lunchbox filled with a bunch of goodies. Pictures, pictures, pictures. Number 30, Raven Knits 383. And last but certainly not least, this seemed to be the fan favorite. I know it was my favorite. It was the Red Umbrella yarns in the Yo-Yo Flamingo colorway. The winner of that is post number 4, who is this piano girl. So, all winners have 30 days to contact me. If I don't hear in 30 days, I will redraw. So, this is how I like to do my drawings. So, I mean, hopefully everyone gets in contact with me. I just want to make sure, especially for things like this, that everyone that is entering my drawing is actually watching the podcast. I mean, these things were donated to me by, you know, listeners and friends, and I don't want to just send them out to people that might have just popped in to enter my giveaway. So hopefully that a month is plenty of time to hear from everyone. Of course, every week as I record, I will remind the winners. So again, if they miss an episode, you know, you'd have to miss a whole month's worth of episodes, which of course could happen too. But maybe if you're friends with one of these people, you can say, hey, go watch the Cat Lady. So that's fine by me too. So thank you everyone for entering. There was 57 total entries. So that was pretty good. And thanks for everyone who donated things to give away. So I have a new giveaway coming up that I will open a thread for, and it's kind of related to stash, but we'll talk about it now. It is the Happy Little Die Pot. .etsy.com is the store. So the Happy Little Die Pot.etsy.com. And this is 100 grams merino in the Dancing Corals colorway. So very pretty tonal oranges, kind of orangey rust colored. Very corally colored. And this was donated from one of the ladies who was in my winter camp team. I tried to pronounce her name, I think, well, I did the giveaway drawing. Yeah, because she donated something from her store for the giveaway. I think it's Aina, it's A-I-N-A. So thank you for, I have some stash that she sent me a little gift for being a cool cabin leader, so I'll show that in stash. But then she added the extra one for the giveaway, so I will open a thread for this giveaway. Oh, and it even has this little cute, like, glass beaded heart stitch marker, and that's how she holds the label on, so probably can't see it. That's the one thing, I'm kind of far away, but so that's the new giveaway. She's from Norway. She would like to know, so the prompt is, what color combos would you like to see in her store? So go check out her store, see what she's got, and come back and say, you know, what colors you like and what kind of yarn colors do you like. And I think that's going to help her. She's a newer business, so I think she's looking for some just ideas and see what the people want. So that will be posted today. Next up is me, and Ren from Strong Girl Knits podcast and Laura from the Desert Knits podcast are working on starting a fitness craft along. So I'm calling it a CAL, but it's not really knitting only. We're really working on encompassing all the crafts really, and there's a lot of details we need to hash out, of course, but in the general scheme is a challenge for you, both crafting and health. So, and you have to do both. So how we're going to track it yet, I don't know, but the kind of rough plan is you'll set a goal at the beginning. So if you're active already, like, okay, I already work out 5 to 6 days a week for an hour. Obviously, I'm not going to say I'm going to work out 7 days for 2 hours because that's just too much. But I can say I'm gonna look for more challenging exercises to put into my routine, or, you know, maybe if you're a runner, you can say I'm gonna run an extra 1 or 2 miles a week or whatever. If you have like a weekly mileage or a daily thing, like I'm gonna run for an extra 10 minutes a day. Anything. It's just anything that kind of is going to challenge yourself. Or health, eating related. I'm going to cut out my sugar. I'm going to stop I'm going to stop drinking pop. Soda, if you're from anywhere with the Midwest. So anything that is going to be a challenge. For me, health-wise, yeah, I need to cut out processed foods, boxed foods and stuff. And I'm working on that. And again, it's all honor-based, so do the best you can, of course, but that's kind of what we're thinking. And then every other week or so, you can start altering your goal. So say you say, okay, I'm going to start running an extra mile or whatever every day, or every time I run, and you do that. Okay, so I think you will have to figure out some sort of point system for that, and then, well, the next, you got to add something in. It's got to be a challenge. You can't just keep doing that the whole time for 2 months. So, again, we have some time to figure it out. We're thinking of setting up a whole separate Ravelry group, and I think we'll do that soon to see if we can get people interested and invite people in, just to see kind of how large of a scale we're looking at. And we're going to run it from through June and July. So we have all of May to kind of promote and brainstorm. So if anyone has any extra ideas, let me know. And we already have some prize ideas. I'll probably make a bag. Ren, who also sews and has the Girl with the Rabbit Etsy store, will make a bag. I think she maybe mentioned stitch markers. Then we have some other fitness related things that, fitness equipment stuff that we were talking about, and, you know, fitness drinks and stuff. It's flashing at me, but I think we're okay. I don't know what the flashing means, or maybe, no, it didn't stop. Okay. Don't mind me. Again, technical difficulties. So stay tuned for that, and if you're interested, please let me know. And last of podcast news is, if you have any coupon codes you want to share with the group, please feel free to let me know. I would love to share some coupon codes and promote your Etsy store, your website, whatever. So please give me a little message on Ravelry, and I would love to share some coupons with all my watchers. So now we're gonna move on to knitting. So knitting this week was pretty slim, but I did get a lot of progress done, but I only worked on one project. Working on my vanilla latte socks. I'm making these for a friend. And the last set you saw, I just turned the heel from the first sock. So, I obviously now finished that sock. It's pretty decent. Decent size. It's about an 8-inch leg. The actual foot is 9 inches, or it's a 9-inch foot before you turn the heel. It's a larger foot. And then, so about an 8-inch leg, maybe 7.5. So a nice longer sock. And this is in the Deborah Norville Serenity sock in the Harlequin color, and these are done on US 1s. And so now I am already on the second sock, and I am past the heel. Past the heel and onto the leg, and got a couple inches done on the leg. So all I have to do is finish up the leg and the ribbing and weave in the ends, give them a wash, and they'll be done. I'd like to have these done by the end of the week, so that's my plan. So I'm not working on anything else until these are done. And then I'm going to work on spinning, because I really need to get the fiber that's been on there since October off the wheel. And that's it for knitting. See, I told you I like that much crafty things this week. So stash. Talk about stash. So the first I'll show is the Happy Little Die Pot. And I picked out this color, and what did she have it on there? Rainy Day. So it's like a very, it's like a grayish base, grayish white base with lots of blue speckly. And then she attached a few minis in there too, so kind of left those on there. And again, it's got the little stitch marker kind of holding the tag on. But look at it, you got some of this really cool blue speckle and green, and then there's some kind of pinky gray splotches in there. So yeah, I'm excited. This is kind of it's a really pretty color. So this is wool and polyamide. So I could make socks out of these, but probably make a shawl. And cute little minis on the top there. So thank you so much for that. And then, let's see. We went on a little road trip this weekend with the family, just me, hubby, and the kids. And just with the town we went to, which I'll talk about later, we stopped at the yarn store. And I got the Plymouth Yarn Neon Now. Ever since I saw the Floromania socks that Strong Girl Knits was working on, I'm like, I need some neon yarn. So The yarn store is tiny. It's called Rapunzel's. It's this tiny, 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 tiny little store. Well, the store itself isn't tiny, but the yarn section is tiny. It's called Unique Gifts and Yarn. So they have like a bunch of random gifty stuff and then like a couple shells of yarn. So, but I saw this and I'm like, oh yeah, why not? 100 grams, wool nylon. So these will be socks. So I'm gonna add these to my sock draw thing. And then, oh, I also got tea from Happy Little Dye Pot. I got a green tulsi, purple tulsi, lemon tulsi, and then a peppermint, looks like peppermint green, and there's something else in here. I didn't open it up, so yummy tea. And then lastly, almost lastly, I guess, I got some fabrics from Joann. They were 50% off their remnants. So I got almost a yard of this neat Mickey and Minnie. It's really cool. I like that. Should open it up. Let's see, 100% cotton. First can't be easy. There we go. Get a better look at that. So that's cool. So I'm gonna make some bags once I get back into sewing again too. So many things, not enough time. Next I got, let's see if I can, there we go. This cute little arrow, gray arrow. So that's kind of a nice, just neutrally fun fabric. And that was a yard. And then this one's my favorite. This is almost a yard, 9.97 yards of the Zelda fabric, and this is like so cool. So this is very like ancient scroll writings on the wall, kind of caveman Zelda. So that's really cool. So that'll be some bags. And lastly, 0.6 yards, so a little under a yard. Nope, this one's not coming off, but this one's kind of, it's like metallic-y. Got some gold shimmer, it's like paisleys. So it's black and gray and gold paisley. And then I got some zippers because I am going to attempt to make a zipper bag. So I got a beige zipper that looks like that would go with the Zelda. A pink zipper that would actually look pretty with that gray, kind of like a little pop of the gray. A gray zipper that would look good with the paisley, and a black zipper that'll look good with the Mickey Minnie. So hopefully I'm going to make some wedge bags, some zippered bags. And please pray for me because I don't know what I'm doing. I'll probably test it out on actually I might have to get one more zipper to test everything out on. Test it on some fabric that I don't really care about and just get a different neutral zipper or something, just a prototype. And then I did end up getting some sparkle tape. It's like washi tape, but it's all sparkly, but I didn't grab it. It's already put away, but I can show you an example of it. Because this is why I bought it. I bought it to put in my journal book here, which I will talk about in a minute. But it's just some sparkly washi tape. Then I got like a green, a pink, a gold, and a blue. And then I got this. This is my super cool journal book planner. It's, was I going to talk about that now or was I going to talk about that later? Yep, I might as well talk about it now. So, I am entering the world of bullet journaling. And this is a moleskin book, so it's very nice. It's very soft cover, it's very durable. The pages are very nice. It's for most bullet journals, they do recommend the graph style paper, but I couldn't find one at Target and it had BB-8 on it, so I will make do with lines for BB-8. So if a bullet journal, if you haven't heard of a bullet journal, it is essentially a DIY journal planner. And I need some sort of organization because my head cannot handle all this stuff anymore. Karate and meetings and do this and do that and call this and call that person and everything. I just can't. And I have 1,000 lists. Like, I posted on Instagram last week or a week before of like 10, or not 10, but like 5 different lists I had. It's like my grocery list, and I had my list of my projects, and then I had a list of things I needed to do, and blah, blah, blah. And then those lists just end up all over the place. And then I have a list on my phone of other things, and then like all these lists, and I don't look at them all. So then it's like, okay, well, what's the point of them? They're not really working. So all this bullet journaling thing has been on Instagram a lot, and then some of my chatty friends that I talked to on Facebook started talking about it. So I'm like, you know what? I'm just going to Google it and see what the heck it is. So I did. And I'm like, hey, this sounds kind of fun. And it's a little bit crafty because you kind of do it yourself, but you can make it as crafty or simple as you want. And my first website I really liked was the lazygeniuscollective.com. And I'll put the link of exactly the page. It was like bare bone basics of bullet journaling. And it was like, really, it was like, okay, you need this, you need this, you need this. Don't worry about anything else. And which is true. But I wanted a little bit more involved than that. So then I kind of, one of my chat friends shared a website, and I actually stumbled across it on the Google search anyways, but it was Bohoberry. And so she's super into bullet journaling and has a lot of resources. So I will link the specific page that I used for her too. So, I'm going to give you a little tour of my bullet journal. So in the beginning, it's hard to see, but I have my name, and I have my phone number and my email. So it's hard to read, but if you picked it up and if I lost it, someone would be able to get a hold of me. And I decorated with Star Wars stickers because, you know, Star Wars. So I have 2016. And then you start off with an index. So your index is, so as you add pages, and then you got to number your pages yourself. So as you add pages to your journal, you write in your index where they are. So page 10 and 11 is the month of April, you know, where I drew out kind of the whole month, like as a regular calendar kind of. And then, which it's only the half of the month, so this was a good time to kind of start off with a half a month. And then right up to page 12, I have my memories page, so things that I want to remember from April. And then page 13, I start my daily log, so Monday, Tuesday. But then I don't continue my daily log on page 14 because other things come up, and I wanted to put other charts in there. So on page 14, I have my daily habit list. But if I look at April daily log, I have 13, 20. So my daily log continues on page 20. So there's a big gap of other things that are in there, which is because it's supposed to be just fluid, intuitive, you know, you're not wasting pages. You're just writing things as they go. So I have a couple pages of index. I don't know if I'll need all those index pages, but I figured I don't want to run out of space. Then you have what you call your future log. And again, since I've started half the year, I probably should have used this page, but I figured I wanted a page put 3 months per page. So it just worked out that way because I kind of liked this to ending on a spread. So yeah, so July, August, September, October, November, December. So anything that comes up. So okay, July I have a doctor's appointment. So I threw that in there so that I can remember. So when I start my month of July, I will look, oh, I got a doctor's appointment to write down on there. So I need like little things that come up. May, so once May hits, I need to start planning David's birthday. I have a birthday party for Emily to add on there. Staff Appreciation Week or Teacher Appreciation Week is the first week of May. You know, little things that I just want to remember for May. April or come June, I want to start thinking about a family get-together. So, you know, it's like it's the future log. So you're logging things to remember in the future. So then you have a key. So I have, so when it's a circle, that's a task thing to do. If the circle's full, and then your task is complete. And I actually like to cross it out because it just visually is better for me. So then I have my April spread. So here's my April spread. So essentially I have all the dates listed down the side. And I have my goals for the month, so all the tasks that I kind of just have in my head that need to get done. And again, they still have to be done. Like if they're not done, then you move them to May. Or you say, it's not going to happen. And then I just filled in things that I know are happening. So again, you probably can't see the details, and that's fine. You don't need to see what's going on in my life at every minute. But, you know, David's school, 8:15, you know, on Monday, Wednesday, Fridays. I got on there. Just, it's not like I don't know that, but it's good to have it down, like parent advisory board, PTO meetings, the days we want to go to karate, etc. So, and then I have put the washi tape on there so I can remember. I know to flip to April 1st. So every day I kind of look, see what's going on, and then I have my memories page. So Emily got her yellow belt for karate. I put that on there. We went to Frankenmuth, which I'll talk about, and that was a fun family day. And I'm gonna start kind of eating more paleo, which I'm gonna talk about too. So yeah, we're still in stash, but it's kind of went a little long. So then I had my dailies. So Monday, I had the list of things I wanted to do on Monday. I had the date, I had the weather, just for fun. I had my weight. Figure I'm gonna start tracking my weight a little bit. And then I had some notes on how I felt. I was very lightheaded Monday. I didn't feel very well, so kind of put that on there. And then I just crossed them out as I finished everything. And if you don't finish something, you kind of put an arrow through it and you migrate it to the next day. So Monday, I did not put away the laundry, so I then immediately put it for Tuesday. Put away laundry. And I did put away my laundry on Tuesday. But then I go into my daily habits. Just things you want to try to get yourself to do daily. So I have to take my vitamins, exercise, blog. So I'm going to try to start blogging on a daily basis. Knit, read to the kids, floss, stuff like that. Track my period on there. TMI, sorry. Then I have a meal plan, because I'm going to try to do monthly meal planning. So again, this was half the month, so I have everything I'm going to eat for breakfast, lunch, and dinner for the rest of the month. Mostly. I got it like for the next week, so week and a half. Looking to get a new deck, so I got a page for quotes for my deck. My fun budget, so I get to spend, you know, I spent some money at Joann's. I wrote that down because, you know, I get a little budget of stuff I can spend for fun. My podcast, so I have a spread of, I can keep filling that in for, so that I have this week and then I have space for next week and next week and next week. And then Wednesday. So now we're back to our daily log. So on Wednesday, podcast, blog, grocery shopping. See, I went grocery shopping. And I'm podcasting. So I'm getting things done. And that's it. So then it just keeps going. And the best thing about it is it's not, you know, if I don't like how something works for this month, I change it next month. I do something different. So I'm liking it. I'm liking it a lot. So that's my adventures of journaling. So I'll probably be mentioning that here and there too, and using that in conjunction with my book that is now full. I need a new podcast journal. I've officially used almost this entire book. I started the podcast on page 4. So 146 pages of notes for my podcast. So yeah, I had to like write half the notes on another piece of paper because I was at the end of the book. So that's all I got for stash and other. So next segment, the new segment, we'll talk about health and wellness. So for health and wellness, like I mentioned, I'm going to start eating more paleo. And if you don't know what paleo is, it's more caveman diet, I guess is the kind of cliche term for it. It's really more of a whole foods diet. But I'm not going full on, okay? If you do anything too much, you're not going to stick with it. So I'm not going to just give up everything that I love, because I love carbs, I love sugar, I love all the stuff that's, you know, no-nos on the list. But I'm going to attempt to minimize it a lot more. Incorporate more of the fresh fruits, vegetables, meats, which we typically do, but we also typically eat a lot of pizza and a lot of bread and a lot of cheese and a lot of stuff that is kind of a no-no. And I've been calorie counting for a good month. I've been exercising almost daily and I'm not seeing any improvements. Now, I know muscle weighs more than fat and but I'm not getting that much stronger either. I am getting a little stronger. I have increased my weights a little bit for basic, you know, curls and lunges and stuff when I'm holding the weights. So yes, I am getting stronger, but again, you know, I'd like to see, I need to see something. And I know I have easily been 10 pounds lighter, like 2 years ago, or a year and a half ago, whatever it was. So something's not working. And my exercise, I'm constantly, like, you know, incorporating different exercises into the circuit. So I'm keeping that fresh, sort of. And I'm burning the same amount of calories each time, and you know, I think doesn't necessarily need much change. Now, and it's cardio, so it's mostly cardio, so I mean, I think that's working. So it's my food. And just calorie counting, I'm still trying to eat healthier things, yes, but I'm not always eating healthier things. Even if I'm staying under my calories, I'm eating kind of junky. So the paleo is fruits, vegetables, meat. No grains, no corn, well that's grains. No grains, no sugars, no starchy vegetables, so no potatoes. No, nothing that you love, really. So, but I Googled a bunch of recipes. I printed out like a mountain of recipes that all sounded good. And the website, what did I write? PaleoGrubs.com is where I ended up with a bunch of recipes that were just simple. They had a whole like 14-day meal plan. I didn't print all of them out, but I just picked and choose the one I liked. And for me, breakfast and lunch needs to be simple, and I'm okay with doing like the same thing every day. So breakfast I'm going to keep going with my breakfast sandwich route. So yes, that has bread. I'm trying my best to use like a whole grain English muffin, and then my egg and my bacon, which I've been using turkey bacon. I might switch over to regular bacon because apparently regular bacon should be okay. However, I have 2 packages of turkey bacon in my fridge, right? One in my fridge, one in my freezer. So for now, I'm just going to keep going with turkey bacon. Again, I'm not going to get rid of the foods I already own. So, I mean, I have a whole closet full of pasta and that needs to be eaten, and the kids like pasta. So the kids are going to be the harder part because transitioning them to new foods has never been easy. And I'm not going to stop my cup of coffee quite yet with sugar and a little creamer in it in the morning because, you know, I have 1 cup of coffee. I have half a tablespoon of sugar and, you know, 1.5 tablespoons of cream. You know, so I'm not like going crazy here. And I'm not calorie counting anymore because I know, and I did who was I talking? I was talking to somebody the other day that mentioned maybe you're not eating enough calories. And it's true because MyFitnessPal was marking me at like 1,420 calories, which is kind of on the low side. When I was doing it before, I was at least at 15. Now, of course, then they say when you work out, you get extra calories to eat. And so I would be averaging 1,500 to 1,600 calories a day anyways, but maybe I'm not eating enough. Maybe my body doesn't feel like I'm eating enough, and it's, you know, holding on to the calories. Because to be honest, like I started tracking my weight, we went out, and I ate pretty poorly on Sunday, so I knew I'd be up on Monday, and I was. But then I ate kind of casually on Monday, like which I assumed was not going to be well. You know, I had some leftovers from Sunday. I had a cupcake. I mean, I had things that I shouldn't have had, kind of thing. But I was down. I was down the next day because I think and I had a very healthy dinner. I had a paleo dinner. I tried one of our recipes, and I was down, and I'm just down today. And I didn't calorie count yesterday, and ate pizza yesterday because I had a parent meeting. So again, I don't know. I'm trying to figure all this out. I know weight doesn't matter completely either, but it certainly helps when you visually see the numbers going. But anyways, so that's it. I went grocery shopping today, spent way too much money on a bunch of staples, you know, like certain things that are paleo friendly, like clarified butter as opposed to regular butter, coconut oil, coconut flour, a whole crap ton of frozen fruits for like smoothies and stuff. I bought a blender. So So yeah, so I kind of overhauled. I bought, you know, tons of fresh, like literally I had like 4, you know, I bought some spices that we needed that, you know, based on these recipes that I picked out. So stuff that I needed for the recipes, and just, I mean, it was like literally 60% fruits and vegetables, 40% other, you know, other stuff. So I'm pretty excited, and I know this bill that I had this week was not normal because, again, I bought like the spices and the stuff that's gonna last for the month, you know, not things that I'm just gonna, not my weekly things. And I bought meat, you know, I did go to Costco and I bought like a 2-pack of like 5 pounds of roast. So but they were like 2.5 pound roasts. So that'll be 2 dinners, you know, and it was like, I don't know, $20 or something. So not that bad for 2 giant roasts that'll feed the whole family twice, you know. So but I hate spending all that money at one time, so it kind of always just puts me on edge. But next week hopefully we'll be able to just refill, you know, chia seeds, stuff that just, it's gonna last me a long time. So that's it for health and wellness. Week in review. We'll try to wrap it up here because now I have no idea, no concept of time because I keep stopping and starting. Last week was pretty random, you know, or normal. Nothing too exciting. Karate, you know, same old. But we had a really nice weekend. Saturday we woke up and we headed to the park. It was finally just a beautiful weekend. So we went to the park. Jim did he take the roof off on Saturday? Maybe just Sunday. He's got a Jeep Wrangler, so. But we went to, I think it was just Sunday. So we went to the library and played at the library, took out some books. I did get a knitting book. It was like the knitting book of wool, but I have not even looked at it yet, so I need to peruse through that before I have to take it back in. The kids got some books and Jim got some video games and, you know, whatever. And then we went over to the park and played outside. The kids got to play on the slides and the swings and they had a good time. And I did some knitting, so it's always nice. That's one of my favorite things to do is knit outside. And then after that we went out to lunch. And so we had our lunch. Which, yeah, I ate bad this weekend, really. I had the chicken wrap, which, okay, it's not terrible, with onion rings. Which onion rings are good. But I only ate half, and then I ate the other half for dinner. So, like, essentially, and Jim did the same thing. So we got our lunch and split it in half and ate dinner. And I only ate half my onion rings and ate the other half for dinner. So, you know, it makes it a little more beneficial when you can stretch it out. And they're such large portions. No one should ever eat that much at one time. And the kids always, and with the place we go, the kids always get ice cream. And, of course, Mommy and Daddy have to steal some bites of ice cream. And, you know, so. And then the kids had quiet time. And afterwards, we ran some errands. We went to Target, went to Costco. So, yeah, we spent a lot of money at Costco lately. But we just had a lot of necessities, like jackets for the summer and swimsuits for the kids and all that kind of stuff. So it was an eventful and productive trip. And so Sunday, we said we were going to clean the house. Like, boo, who wants to do that? And so on Saturday night, I'm like, hey, let's just go to Frankenmuth instead. And he's like, Jim's like, really? I'm like, sure. It's like, he's like, I don't know. So I was an adult, and Sunday morning I said, okay, let's clean for 2 hours. We can probably knock out the whole lower level of the house, the main floor of the house, and then let's go to Frankenmuth. So we did. So from 8 to 10, we busted butt and dusted and vacuumed and cleaned the first floor. And so yeah, I still need to clean upstairs, but the first floor is, you know, the dirtiest part, you know, where we're always at, and the kitchen and the bathrooms and all that stuff. So we cleaned and then we drove to Frankenmuth, which is about just an hour drive, and that's when Jim took the roof off. And so it was nice. So on Instagram I posted a picture of me looking up the roof. So it was a gorgeous day. We went to the Bavarian Inn, which we get our chicken dinner, and it's like massive chicken dinner. It's roasted chicken. It's, you know, you start off with some like bread and butter, and then chicken noodle soup and bean salad and pasta salad and coleslaw and cranberry relish and all sorts of like salads that they bring to your table, unlimited. And then you get your platter of chicken, buttered noodles, mashed potatoes and gravy, stuffing, and squash, like mashed squash. So yeah, it was delicious. It was amazing. It's always wonderful. And then we had some leftovers to take home. So we had some chicken and potatoes and noodles. And literally, you know, that was a filling enough lunch that we just weren't hungry for dinner. I made us some smooth protein shakes for dinner. The protein powder shakes for dinner because we weren't really that hungry. But I knew that if I didn't eat something around 9 o'clock, I'd be hungry. And then that's when I'd be binging on pretzels and cheese and crackers and stuff. So that worked out fine. But then we had leftovers. So of course Monday, I ate some of the leftovers. But after that, we walked around. We went to the cheese house, which we just went through and had some samples. We didn't buy any. And then we went to the yarn store that I showed you the yarn I got. And then we went to the Christmas store. So Bronner's is like the world's largest Christmas store. And I don't know if it's the world's largest or not, but it's a very, very large Christmas store that's open 361 days a year. I think they're closed for Christmas and Easter and Thanksgiving and New Year's, something like that. So the kids picked out some ornaments, and I can show you the ornaments. Hold on. So here's what Bronner's Christmas Wonderland. I don't know if that's focusing or not. Open 361 days a year, world's largest Christmas store. So the kids each picked out 2 ornaments. Sometimes I pick out a family one, but whatever, the kids were having fun picking theirs out, so I just went with that. So Emily got the kitty, and you can have them personalized. They actually just write their names on it. So Emily got a cat ornament. It's got her name on the top there, and the year on the side, under the whisker. So that was cute. She was all over the cat ones. She's my girl. And we already have 2 of these cat ones. One's black and one's gold. So like for the cats with their names on it. So now Emily's the honorary cat. And then here's one of David's. Got a monster truck. So that's got its name on it. And the date somewhere on the side there. I know it's on autofocus, so it keeps wanting to go for my face. So I apologize if it's a little blurry. Should have opened these in advance, but this was David's other one. He just liked the silly monster. So we got silly monster. And lastly, and this one's my favorite just because I think it was perfect for Emily. Well, I'm glad she went with it. And it's a karate uniform. And it's got her name and the date on it. So that was pretty cool. And after that, we headed home. And by the time we got home, it was, I don't know, 4 o'clock or something. So, you know, we spent most of the day there. Again, just had some, that's right. So we got home. Maybe it was earlier than that, now that I think about it. So we got home from there, and on the way home, I'm like, hey, why don't we wash my car? Since it was gorgeous outside, it was like 80 something or mid 70s. So the kids got to wash my car, and I washed my car, and you know, they got to play in the water. I put out the sprinkler for them, and then Jim went and worked out. So yeah, it was like 4 something, and I said, why don't you work out now and get that over with? And then when he came back, I'm like, why don't I work out and get that over with? So the kids were playing outside. My setup is now back in the garage. I don't know if I ever mentioned that because it was in my room, but all the punching and the moving the bag, it really sounded like the ceiling was going to cave in underneath. So we decided to move it back into the garage. So my setup's back in the garage. So, but I got to, you know, Jim watched the kids mostly, and I kind of jumped in and watched them too here and there while I was working out. And so we both got our workouts in before dinner. So that was good. It's nice to get that out of the way. Tonight I'm going to have to do it later. So being that I'm recording now, so. That was Sunday. So Monday this week, it's been busy. Just been busy. I had a PTO meeting on Monday for Emily's school. We had karate earlier in the day. We had karate, then I had the PTO, and then I came home from PTO and I stepped on a wasp. Oh my gosh, it hurt so bad. Luckily it was pretty short-lived, but it hurt. And apparently we have a wasp problem, which, okay, every spring I'll find a wasp or two in our bathroom, upstairs in our master bath. But now it's been, in the last 3 days, there's been 1, 2, 3, 5. And they're all coming in through the bathroom window. I know it, because there were 2 underneath the bathroom curtain shade. Kind of, we have like these paper shades in our bathroom. And there were 2. I went to smack one, and another one was buzzing around in there. So there were 2 in there. So I'm pretty sure that's the window they're coming in. There was one in the bathtub yesterday, which is right below that window. So they're somehow coming in that window. Now, are they in the wall, or is there a nest out on the house? I don't know. But anyways, back to Monday. I was just walking through the bathroom, and I stepped on something, or I stepped down. You know, I'm not watching exactly where I'm walking in my bathroom. I was pretty confident there wasn't anything to step on the floor. And it felt like I stepped on a pin. I thought at first, like, I'm like, ow, like, and I looked at my foot, and I didn't see anything, and then I looked over, and I saw it, and then I think that one is when I mentally broke down, because then I'm like, oh my god, and I'm freaking out. I'm crying, I'm like, oh my god, it hurts. My husband's like, what's going on? And I'm on the bathroom. I went to the bathroom, so I was like, you know, it was just, so my husband's like, I'm sitting on the bathroom and I'm freaking out. I'm like, what do you do about a wasp? Google it. I'm like, it hurts. So he Googled it and wash it and put an ice pack on it. I'm like, go get me an ice pack. So he goes and gets me an ice pack, and I calm down, put that on for like 5 minutes, and it felt better. But I mean, originally I felt it like, I could feel it like go up my foot and like up the side of my, it's like it was on my big toe. So it was like up the front of my foot, up, and then up the bottom of my foot. Kind of just like, we got all swollen for a few minutes. Yeah, it was not pleasant. But by the time I lay down and went to bed, it was fine. In the morning it was a little sensitive, but it was fine. So it's totally fine now. But I don't ever want to do that again, because that was not really fun. So Tuesday, yesterday was, so I had PTO on Monday. Now I had parent advisory on Tuesday for David's school. So the daycare that we're at is very active with their families and is very interested in our input. So we have a parent advisory board that helps them with, just going over what's going on at school and improvements they want to make and blah, blah, blah. So that was last night, and that went for like 2 hours, and that usually does, but then they feed us though. So we had pizza. So now here we are, Wednesday. I spent all morning grocery shopping, and I went and got David. I came home. I am doing this, and it's already 2 o'clock. So in like an hour, David will be up, and then Emily will be home, and then we're gonna go to karate. And I just feel like this week has just been nonstop. So, but my little journal has helped keep things kind of in place. Jim, I think, is going to go see a movie tonight, so maybe I'll have a little bit, I gotta exercise tonight. I was going to say maybe a relaxing night, but I don't know. So that's all I got. So hopefully this didn't run too long, and hopefully the videos turn out okay with the camera, and we'll see how I like it. And that's that. And hopefully I get to craft some more things this week. And finish my socks and do some spinning and maybe do some bags. I don't know. I'm not gonna make any promises. But I will be continuing to focus on my journal and the paleo. And please stay tuned to the blog. I'm gonna try to start doing the blog thing more. But thank you for keeping with me. And if you have any comments or suggestions, please come to the Ravelry group and chime in. Thank you. I hope everyone has a good week and you get to craft all the things. Bye.